What's up with the fam? It's your boy Preston McCullough Jr. here, back at it again with another video. So fam, I'm literally outside at about 10:30 at night right now, trying to get me a little workout in, because there's just not enough time in the day for me to take care of all of the different things I need to do every single day so that I can be the most productive that I can be. So I try to get things in where I can fit it in, right? Henceforth is why I'm doing this video right now. So I wanted to do this real quick update, fam, and I'm gonna try my best to make this video short, but I wanted to answer some of the questions that you guys asked me in the recent video that I did where I was talking about the vending machine company that I just started about 6 months ago. My website name is macworthvending.com. That's MACWORTH vending, VENDING.com. Listen, I'm not selling vending machines. I don't have any promo codes. I don't benefit at all by me telling you guys about what I use and how I use it. But listen, when I tell you God has been so good to me, like this micro market business that I do, that's a side hustle for me, fam. So I have no fear in from what can come out of me sharing all of the information. This is by no means my primary source of income. So I'm more than willing to give you guys all the free information. However, if you do have a location, if you are in the Dallas-Fort Worth area and you want one of these machines in your location and you want me to finance it, you know, just go to macworthvending.com and I will be happy to look at the location, whether that be a school, a hotel, a gym, a luxury apartment complex. It just depends on what it is. I'll be more than happy to completely pay for it out of pocket and finance one of these machines, because that is the business that I'm into. Even though it's a side hustle for me, fam, I take everything that I do seriously. I don't halfway do anything. So I wanted to get straight to answering some of those questions. So just give me a second while I get on here to answer some of these questions from some of the people who actually subscribe to my channel. Like, listen fam, I really appreciate all of the love that y'all showed me on that last video. I got like, I want to say almost 100 subscribers, maybe a little bit less than that. I almost got almost 100 subscribers from that video. While I'm looking for that, I wanted to let y'all know, everybody who subscribed to my channel, I really appreciate it. But I wanted to let you know, it is not my intention to disappoint you. You know, like, I hope you guys stay along, and I hope you guys get some kind of value out of my videos and everything that I choose to put up in the future. But listen fam, I do YouTube for fun. I enjoy doing it. I like talking about a wide range of topics. I'm not doing, you know, these videos to try to well, I wouldn't say that, because I do want to grow. Everybody wants to grow. That's not true. But I'm just not, I hadn't dedicated the time that it takes in order to be a successful YouTuber, because my life is already so busy, you know, like, so I just wanted to let you guys know ahead of time, I'll be uploading videos even more frequently now, but it'll just be on a wide range of topics, you know what I mean? So, and I will be talking about some of my investments, whether that be real estate, because I do like to buy property and I like to pay cash for property, and I like to rent out property and stuff like that. I like doing renovations, and I'm just a serial entrepreneur. I've been investing. Just go through my channel, fam. Just go through my channel. But I've been an investor for over 10 years, self-employed. Got my own business. I've just always had a problem with scaling, fam, and I'm trying to figure that out. So stay along with me on the journey. But let me get to those questions, y'all. And I apologize about my rambling. That's another thing that y'all gonna have to get used to if y'all do choose to stick around on my with my content. But there was a few really good questions that people asked me. So people were asking me whether or not I pay a fee to the different locations that I have my machines in, and the answer is yes, fam, I do. I pay anywhere between 10 to 12%, even though I know, you know, what I have is more, you know, it adds value to the location, right? It's an amenity. That's absolutely true. But at the same time, fam, my situation is a little bit different. Again, it's a side hustle for me. I don't need this money in order to survive. So I don't mind paying a lot extra in order for me to acquire a location. So yes, I pay 10% of gross revenue, right? Not sales. So it's easy for me to keep up with. So let's say, for instance, if one of my accounts of one of my locations does $3,000 a month, right? $3,000 a month, I'll just write them a check for $300, right? I pay sales tax, and I pay all of that. Like, and I'm still able to walk away with a gross profit of about anywhere between 55 and 60%. So it's, you know, it's still pretty good. Like and that's with all fees included. Another question that somebody asked me is what type of vending machines did I choose? So the actual vending machine that I chose was actually a really bad idea. And I was gonna do a whole nother video on that, and that's still gonna come later, but the very first vending machine that I bought was a TCN. Fam, listen, they got some really nice, really fancy looking TCNs out there. The one that I bought cost me about $12,000. It was one of the most fanciest, most modern, up-to-date ones that they had. Had an elevator on it, real fancy screen and all that type of stuff. It took cash and credit and debit, you know what I mean? But the issue that I was having was that things kept getting stuck, right? No matter how fancy it was, you know, how nice it looked, things kept getting stuck. And anytime you have a dissatisfied customer, that's a customer that potentially won't come back. So the way I looked at it was, look, I just cashed out almost $12,000 for this machine. And yeah, I know I overpaid, but listen, fam, my situation is a little bit different. I don't mind overpaying for things when I'm trying to break into any industry. You know, like that's okay. You know what I mean? So anybody who want to get into my comments and comment like, oh, you overpaid, somebody screwed you, somebody robbed you. Fam, I've been self-employed, an entrepreneur for over 10 years now. I know how it works anytime you get into any industry. Yes, I overpaid, but I voluntarily overpaid, right? I'm blessed, let me just put it like that. And it was a learning lesson for me, right? I overpaid once, and the next time I didn't overpay. The next time I actually got a great buy. So the first machine, let me run through this rant real quick, my bad, y'all, was a TCN. The second machine that I got was a vending machine, right? And that was actually a product that I really, really liked. In fact, that's the product that you guys saw in the videos, in the last recent video that I just did. So it's called Vending. Just go to havending.com, and you can order straight from there. I believe, I can't recommend a sales rep, because I've dealt with a couple of them, right? But I will say the product is pretty good. It's pretty good. If I were to give it a rating between 1 and 10, I would give it a solid 7, right? And the only reason why I would give it a 7 and not a 10 is because there is an issue where sometimes the AI does not recognize the products that you put in there. So a lot of times it'll charge a customer for a different product that they didn't buy. So if it's a product that let's say hypothetically, if somebody ordered a Gatorade, right? But then it, for some reason, ended up charging them for a Starbucks drink or something like that, right? So, you know, either the customer can lose in that situation or you can lose, right? That doesn't happen that often. I would say about 70% of the time, about 70 to 75% of the time, the AI recognizes the product efficiently, right? Now, I actually have 5 machines. And another question that somebody asked me was what did they ask me? I believe they asked me, if I financed it or if I paid cash for it, or did I lease it, right? So every single machine that I bought, I paid cash for. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, for each one of those vending machines, they have different options. You can get a single cooler or a double cooler, right? I bought, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. I bought 4 double cooler machines, and each one of those costs about $7,500 to $8,000, right? And I paid cash for every single one of those. And then I also bought a single freezer, and in the freezer I used to sell ice cream and stuff like that, and like Hot Pockets and just frozen products and stuff like that, right? And that actually does pretty well. So, and I paid about $4,500 for that. So listen, fam, y'all can try to write all of this down. I'm actually working out right now. I'm just going off the top of my head, answering these questions. I believe all in, I ended up spending about, I know for a fact, I think I came out of pocket about $49,000, right? And I paid all cash, no debit, no credit, anything like that. And the reason that I did that, fam, is because I've learned my lesson in the past about starting a business with credit, fam. Listen, I'm not trying to make this a lecture video, but I never, ever recommend ever starting any business with credit, right? I just don't recommend it. It adds too much pressure on you to be successful. Like the way I like to do business, fam, is I like to start off and I like to cash flow the startup of any business, right? How can you run the business and do what you and accomplish your goal for that business, firstly, and then secondly, how can you run it as lean and as cost effective as possible, right? And one of the easiest ways to do that is to not try to take on debt, right? Now, I don't have any problem with debt. Well, I do. I don't like debt at all. But if you're gonna use debt at all in any business, I would recommend only in cases where you're scaling something that's already proven, right? Like if you already know it's a proven business model, right? If you just need to bridge the gap because you got like some kind of massive amount of sales that's coming a couple months from now, you just trying to buy as much product as you can right now because you know you're gonna offload it, stuff like that, right? It makes sense for a business model that's already proven. But I would never recommend getting into the vending machine business with credit, and that's just because it's just too fickle, right? The locations that you go after, because they can look like they just the best locations, like you don't see how this location can go wrong. But fam, there's a lot of things that can go wrong, right? For one, people just might not buy, you know what I mean, as much or as often as you think that they will, right? A lot of times people need to walk past the vending machine for 6 months before they decide to ever use it, you know what I mean? So if you constantly paying out these payments, right, constantly making these payments, fam, like it's just not worth it. The amount of interest that you gonna pay on it, it's just better to save your money and then just pay cash for the machine, right? And then the other reason, fam, is that when you pay cash for it, like literally all the money that comes in, it's your money, right? You can choose what to do with it. It gives you the opportunity to get the product right, because a lot of times, fam, you can buy a machine and you can stuff it with products that you think people actually want to buy, right? Only to find out that nobody wants to buy 75% of the things that's in the machine. I know you think that you know what people want to buy, right? I did too. We all do, right? But at the end of the day, fam, I'm telling you, some of the products that you just so confident in that you know people gonna want to buy, a lot of times they're not gonna buy them. They're gonna walk right past them. And what is that? That's wasted money, right? That's wasted money on products that you were not able to sell, right? And if you starting this business on credit, not only did you pay for products that you can't sell, right, but you paying interest on top of the principal on products that you can't sell that's going to waste anyway. You see what I'm saying? So it's a double loss, right? And on top of that, you finance the machine. So fam, I would never ever recommend leasing the machine, or just buy it, fam. And if you can't buy it, just save up your money, right? Beans and rice. You know what I'm saying? Save up your money and buy a machine. But before you even buy a machine, fam, I would recommend securing a location before you get a machine, right? That's important. Get the location first, right? And you just got to sell yourself. Obviously, don't tell nobody that you don't have a machine yet. You know what I mean? But you got to have all your ducks in a row. And if you guys are interested, I'll make an update. I know there's a whole lot more information I can give y'all. But I don't want to make this video too long because ain't nobody gonna watch it if I do. But let me answer one more of these questions. How did you learn how to, somebody asked me, how did you learn how to operate and to find a machine? Did you take a course or a program? How did you track your items and profit from an AI machine? Okay, so I'm gonna answer them one at a time. How did you learn how to operate, fam? Like I've learned how to operate again because I've been self-employed. I've been starting businesses, failing at businesses, starting businesses, succeeding at businesses for over 10 years. So it's business, fam. You know, you got expenses, you got revenue, and you got profit, right? And then you got the legal things that you got to handle in order to make sure your business is set up rightly and securely. And then you got the accounting side of it to make sure that you actually paying your taxes and everything like that. Because I'm a big advocate of actually paying your taxes, right? You know, I don't recommend ever trying to get away with not paying taxes. Pay your damn taxes. And then the other piece of that, and then there's other pieces that I'm leaving out. Other piece of that is actually scaling, fam. That's one of the things that I have not figured out yet fully. So I'm not an expert at scaling businesses. Like, fam, I'm gonna be honest. I'm an expert. My expertise is creating a job for myself. I am a golden spooned, high producing employee of myself. You know what I mean? Like over $500,000 a year, easily. And that is me creating a job for myself. I have never been able to figure out how to scale a business to the point to where I can actually find good help, fam. It's the help that I have not been able to find, right? That's been my issue. I have not been able to find good help. And maybe it's me. Maybe I got trust. Maybe I got trust issues. Maybe I'm just having a hard time trusting that people would treat my business the way I would treat it, right? But the good thing about this vending machine business is that this is the first business that I've actually gotten involved in that I'm confident that I can scale, because it does not require skilled labor, if that makes sense, right? Like, I can actually go and hire people to go and do the physical labor of it, right? Which is a great thing. So this is the first business right now. It's just a side hustle. I'm making about $3,500 to $4,000 a month on it. And I'm just growing it, not using the money. It's just literally just building up an account. And I'm just gonna, my whole goal for that account is to just continue to grow it. If I get another account, I'm just gonna cash flow another machine. Like, I'm just gonna grow the business, right? But and if I never get any more accounts, I'm okay with that, right? If I never get any more accounts, I'm just gonna allow the money to continue to compound and to grow, and figure it out. It maybe buy a property or something like that later on down the line. I don't know, another property, right? But with that being said, fam, that's all I got to say. Just comment on this video if you need me to do another update. Again, my channel is not about vending machines or micro markets, right? This is just a part of my life now. So I will be doing updates every once in a while on this business, but I talk about a wide range of topics, right? And if you're not feeling my channel, like, you listen, I don't feel like don't be guilted into subscribing to my channel just because you got value out of this video, because my channel is about other things, like a whole lot of other things when I do make videos, right? But thank you guys. I really do appreciate the people who chose to stop by and hit that like button and hit that subscribe button. I really do appreciate it from the bottom of my heart, right? I just don't want you guys to be disappointed because of my uploads, right? I'm not doing it that often, but I will get more consistent. But with that being said, that's all I got to say, fam. Thank y'all for watching. Holla at your boy.